Hey guys, CoolCheese here, and welcome back to another Destiny video. In today's video, we're going to be creating a tier list of the current non-sunset SMGs, specifically for high-end 3v3 PvP. Let's start by defining the archetypes of SMGs, and defining what the tier list is based off of. Starting with the slowest RPM, 600 RPM SMGs have a 0.8 headshot time to kill, and a 1.1 body shot time to kill. These are the longest range SMGs and have the most stable recoil out of the bunch. Next up, we have 750 RPM SMGs, which have intrinsic high caliber rounds and rock a 0.67 headshot time to kill and a 1 second flat body shot time to kill. Next, we have the 900 RPM adaptive SMGs, which rock a 0.73 headshot time to kill and a 0.9 body shot time to kill. Finally, 900 RPM lightweight SMGs have a 0.67 headshot time to kill and a 1.1 body shot time to kill. Additionally, since they are lightweight weapons, they give you increased sprint speed and mobility when the weapon is in your hand. Now that we have an accurate understanding of the SMG sub-archetypes, let's talk about what is this tier list based off of. Ever since Forsaken, having a special weapon equipped has been mandatory for PvP. That being said, this tier list is based on an SMG's capability to be a primary weapon within high-level 3v3s, specifically Trials of Osiris and the competitive playlist. The reason we are using 3v3 is because winning matters, which means that your weapon choice matters. Additionally, Bungie has said that 3v3 is their goal for a competitive future of Destiny. Once again, not saying Destiny is competitive or an esport. And the ability to get 20 to 30 kills with an absolutely terrible weapon in 6v6 doesn't mean anything for a weapon's viability. Final disclaimer. Preference and fun is not part of the tier list. You can enjoy one of the D tier subs on this list, and that is completely fine. Go for it. But that doesn't mean it's good. Okay, let's get right into it. Starting with SMGs, I would just label as outright bad with no redeeming qualities within PvP at the moment are Cold Front, Death Adder, Every Waking Moment, Huckleberry, Mida Mini, Risk Runner, Seventh Seraph, and Stochastic Variable. All of these SMGs either don't have high range or have high range with low zoom, which makes them very hard to control. These SMGs aren't great at the moment, and everything above these SMGs on the tier list outclasses them by a landslide. Starting with the worst of the best, in B- tier, Escape Velocity. Escape Velocity is a 900 RPM lightweight SMG that comes from world drops, more specifically from Banshee 44, and has scope options which give it 17 zoom and maxes out the range around 20.9 meters. Escape Velocity is good, but it has a problem of not having top tier perks. Its best perks are definitely Overflow, Elemental Capacitor, and Vorpal, but none of those are really comparable to Killing Wind, Iron Reach, Rangefinder, or Kill Clip. If you have extra gunsmith materials, I will say this is definitely worth getting, but it is also not really comparable to some SMGs higher up. Next up, also in B- tier, is the Ikelos SMG. Ikelos SMG has been a staple for a lot of SMG players for a while, except I do think it's a little overrated given that its perks aren't too great. Your best options are Threat Detector with either Demo or Vorpal, and I really don't think that's really worth running. It can reach up to 20.34 meters, and so for an aggressive, this is still very strong. However, I think it just gets outclassed pretty easily. Going into B tier, we have Extraordinary Rendition, which is basically just a better Ikelos SMG in nearly every way. It has 15 zoom at base, which is more zoom than Ikelos rounds gives you, and can reach 21.76 meters of range as opposed to Ikelos' 20 flat. It also has access to much better perks such as Overflow, Surplus, Outlaw, Firmly Planted, Frenzy, Rampage, Thresh, Multi-Kill Clip. You get what I'm saying. It just has better perk options and has a better gun at base than the Ikelos sub. If you're a fan of Ikelos, I would give Extraordinary Rendition a try. Coming into B+ tier, we have Friction Fire. Friction Fire is a 600 RPM SMG that has access to top tier perks and 16 zoom. Friction Fire definitely can't compete with those above it on the tier list. However, for what it is, it's really good. It's got a very hefty range stat, 16 zoom, it has Killing Wind, and so you're reaching that 24.83 meter mark, which is extremely competitive, even if it isn't something like the SHAYURA'S Wrath. Overall, Friction Fire is one of the most easily farmable SMGs in the game, so you might be there a while, but I definitely think it's worth running some hunts. Breaking into A- tier, we have TARRABAH, the exotic SMG from the Crown of Sorrow raid. Now you can get it from the exotic kiosk. TARRABAH is a top tier SMG not because of its range, but because of its zoom and its extremely powerful perk. TARRABAH has a 16 zoom stat and has the most lethal exotic perk in the game in my opinion. Basically, when you have Ravenous procced, it's God mode. That is the reason TARRABAH is on A-. Without Ravenous, TARRABAH is like, okay, probably closer to the Ikelos in terms on the tier list. However, with Ravenous, ooh, Ooh, it's so nice. TARRABAH is definitely one of the most fun SMGs on this list, and it is extremely competitive for what it is. Next up in A tier is Borrowed Time, the Gambit Ritual SMG. Borrowed Time is an absolutely fantastic 750, probably the best 750 we've seen in the game. It can get a very high range stat at 70 with something like Rangefinder, which pushes that effective range to 22.1 meters. Combine that with a perk like Frenzy, and you will just completely frag out. Borrowed Time is extremely good at pressuring players, whether they're using a sniper or their primary, because of the amount of flinch with high cal and the aggressive frame. And with a free damage perk like Frenzy, it is a no-brainer why this gun is top tier. It is extremely hard to grind because of the amount of perks on it, but I definitely do recommend trying to hunt for it if you have that Gambit itch. We are down to 2 SMGs remaining. In number 2 spot at S- tier is the MULTIMACH CCX SMG. This one is a 900 RPM lightweight SMG that comes from Iron Banner that can rock Killing Wind and Iron Reach with a 17 zoom stat, which is absolutely insane. For an SMG that can kill in 0.67 seconds to reach up to 26 meters is crazy good. The combination of lethality plus range is fantastic, however, you do eliminate your option for running something like Kill Clip. A lot of people think Iron Reach is bad because of the stability penalty, but both on MK and controller it is extremely manageable. It just sucks that you have to give up Kill Clip in order to get that much range. If you're looking for a kinetic SMG, MULTIMACH is the one. It is the best kinetic SMG in the game currently, so definitely keep your eyes out for one next time Iron Banner comes around. Finally, the current king of SMGs, SHAYURA'S Wrath in S tier. Does SHAYURA'S Wrath have some unfavorable matchups in this sandbox? Yeah, I think you could argue that. However, I think it is simply undeniable how strong this weapon is in the current sandbox. SHAYURA'S Wrath can reach 99 range stat with 17 zoom and Killing Wind and Kill Clip. That is insane. You are going to be reaching up to 28 to 29 meters, and then with Killing Wind into the low 30s. This SMG is insane for what it does, and by far is the most effective SMG to use if you're using it strictly as a primary weapon. And that is the tier list. Thank you guys for watching the video up until this point. I really appreciate that. We just recently got invited to the partner program on YouTube, which is awesome. I really appreciate the support. As always, you can check me out live on Twitch. I go live 5 out of 7 days of the week most of the time. Twitch.tv/CoolCheese101, and you can join my community Discord, link in the description, if you have any more specific questions you'd like to chat to me about. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.